Please be seated. With the official opening of the award ceremony, let me respectfully invite the Vice Chancellor of the University of Moratuwa, Professor Kapila Pereira, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you. Aibowan, Wanakkam, Assalamu alaikum. Very good afternoon to all of you. The Chancellor, Vidyadoti Professor KKYW Pereira, the guest speaker today, our own council member, Professor Kemaldeen, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the Acting Registrar, the Acting Bursar, Deans of the Faculties, Director Research, members of the Council, all the Professor Emeritus, former Vice Chancellors, heads of the departments, award recipients today, parents, distinguished invitees. I would like to first congratulate all the awards recipients who would be receiving their awards this afternoon in this August gathering. I would like to, at the outset, just mention that University of Moratuwa has been continuing this tradition of recognizing the outstanding research awards that are approved by the Senate and the Council for those who have carried out outstanding research at the University of Moratuwa for the betterment of the humanity, so that we would continue to help the cause of the development of the society at the expense of state funded, or the other words, the taxpayers' funds. The purpose of having this award ceremony, while recognizing and acknowledging or felicitating the outstanding research performance by academic staff, and also presenting the student awards and recognizing the awards received by the staff and students in different fora, either international or national, to ensure that they get the satisfaction and they showcase to others in this university, all their peers, all the students, and at large the society, this is what University of Moratuwa researchers, students are capable of. And also to set the tone or encourage or motivate others to follow suit, so that they could determine and motivate to better contribute, achieve higher standards of research, so that they will be able to better contribute in the coming years. It's a personal milestone for the recipients, but for the others, it will be a trendsetter for them to just see what are the opportunities available for them to contribute in research. We are a well-established university world over in undergraduate teaching. But if University of Moratuwa wants to be the most globally recognized knowledge enterprise in Asia, we personally believe that we need to have good research outcomes and outputs that are recognized by the world. These research awards in the criteria, they meet world standards. Scopus, science citation, and the world standards. So those who are receiving the research awards today, they are world class and world standard. So we are thriving to promote all these staff and the students to do research and engage in world-class research with the industry that are meaningful and relevant to the industry. After all, we need to convert research outcomes and research outputs for meaningful applications. There's no better place than a technologically savvy university to do this one. We have proven all the recipients today who are present here, as well as who are not receiving awards today, all the research that they have done, they are recognized nationally, regionally, as well as internationally. With this brief, I would like to welcome the Chancellor of University of Moratuwa, Vidya Jyoti, Professor K.K. Y.W. Pereira. Sir, your gracious presence year after year is an inspiration to all of us. You yourself had proven what is research, what are research achievements, how do you translate your research achievements, your inventions, innovations for the betterment of the people. On behalf of University of Moratuwa, I would like to welcome you, sir. Next, we have an illustrious council member. You would hear how outstanding he is, Professor Kemaldeen. Sir, thank you for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion. And the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Acting Registrar, Acting Bursar, all the Deans of the faculties, Director Research, all the Professors of Emeritus, the Council members, all the recipients, award winners, the students, the parents, all the staff who are within this gathering, seated nicely, comfortably, and all those people who are making our lives comfortable, working behind the scenes, all of you are welcome. Thank you very much. Nandri.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor, sir, for that thought-provoking and warm beginning. Now, let me cordially invite Professor Mrs. Dilekha Dias, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies, to introduce the next esteemed personality who will be delivering the awards ceremony address.
Professor Kemal Ismail Dean is an academic, a surgeon, a consultant in gastrointestinal surgery, and a former Sri Lanka rugby football player. He was part of the concept planning team which pioneered liver transplantation in Sri Lanka. He was a professor of surgery at the Faculty of Medicine, University of California from 1994 to 2014. He is the founder professor of the Department of Surgery and held the position of the head of the department from 1998 to 2003. He is an accomplished researcher, having authored many well-cited books and research papers. He has been awarded the Presidential Research Award for National Contribution on consecutive occasions for over 10 years. He is among the top 10% of Sri Lankan researchers on Google Scholar. Professor Kemal Dean qualified with an MBBS from the Faculty of Medicine, University of Peradeniya in 1983. Thereafter, he obtained a Doctor of Medicine from the University of Birmingham and the Fellowship of the Royal College of Surgeons, London. As a schoolboy at Trinity College, Kandy, he was a colorsman in athletics and in rugby and scored the winning try in the Bradby Shield encounter against Royal in 1976. He is a recipient of the Trinity Lion, the highest honor for sports at Trinity. Professor Dean is a fellow of the National Academy of Science, Sri Lanka, a fellow of the Association of Colon and Rectal Surgeons, India, and a fellow of the Pakistan Society of Clinical Oncology. In 2014, he was elected as the president of the College of Surgeons of Sri Lanka. He holds visiting professorships at a number of universities and research institutes overseas. He was also the chairman of the Arthur C. Clarke Institute for Modern Technologies from February 2015 to October 2017, and he is also currently a member of the University of Moratuwa Council. May I now invite Professor Kemal Dean to the podium.
Very good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, members of the head table, sir, the Vice Chancellor, the Chancellor, Professor Pereira, Vice Chancellor, also Professor Pereira, members of the head table, ladies and gentlemen, and mostly the young researchers in this part of the audience. It is my grateful honor for having asked me to come this evening, this afternoon, on this special occasion. I am indeed a medical academic, and for the University of Moratuwa to have asked me to come, I think I need to be able to give you, the young people, something about, and in punchlines, what I've got to say about research, because that is what my strength is. We're often like, a surgeon in research is often like a farmer. You got to be there down on the paddy field doing the work, and then when you've got some time, come back, sit down on your writing desk and find out how better you can go and make sure that the paddy field and the work in the paddy field happens. If you get it wrong, you're in big trouble, and the aim is for zero error. So we brought up with a significant degree of discipline. And I think that's where the bottom line with performance and research and integrity is. However, I'd like to just trace back to scientists from previous times. In the times of science of the Archimedes and Galileo and Francis Bacon, and more latterly, Mr. Ray Vijayawardena, who you all know from University of Moratuwa fame, they all had one common thread that beaded their chain. And that was this intense thirst for an appetite for finding out how better to do things, finding out how systems work and how we can make things work better. So they obviously had a lot of basic research within their core knowledge, and they also wanted to translate this into practical research, either for the benefit of humanity or for the benefit of the environment, and for production or agriculture and whatever you want to do. So we are also reminded about this in the Wright brothers' experiments. If you go through the experiments that the Wright brothers did, they often risked their lives to achieve what we assume is such a task that was no mean task, but is now taken for granted, and that is the act of flying. If not for their performance, we wouldn't have been such a smaller world today. Take, for instance, the electric bulb. how much it has developed to produce what we also take for granted. So I think we need to honor these basic science researchers and the original inventors from time to time, and there's no better way than Moratuwa doing this for your own graduates and undergraduates. So I'm deeply honored again to you for having asked me to come here as the chief guest. It is only when you set out to resolve the question in your mind that the problems, hardships, and your journey as a researcher will begin. You have got to develop a mind that is open to reason, and that is something that is difficult when we are brought up in our part of the culture. So the important thing for any leader of a research team to do is, like the great philosopher George Bernard Shaw said, the reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable man persists to adapt the world to himself. And the more unreasonable people we have in this world, i.e. the people who are not open to reason, progress will be significantly less. And we need to convert people who are unreasonable to open their minds to what we call reason. I'd like to, as a form of inspiration, I'd like to take you through some of my own journey in research. I'm just not sure where the press button is. If you take the first slide here, way back in 1983, I was a first-year resident at the University of Peradeniya Hospital. That's where I graduated from. And one of the problems there was in the university, the University Department of Surgery, comprising of famous academic surgeons, their job was operating mainly on patients with intestinal disorders. And these range from newborn infants whose bowels had not formed as yours and mine had, and they had often to develop surgical techniques that gave them a huge improvement in quality of life if they were to live at least 30 to 40 years from there on. And also what you see on the screen in patients with rectal cancer. Often, patients who had rectal cancer at that time were given a bag, and that I'm sure all of you all know, a bag is not a greatest idea in the world. Second slide, please. What happens with rectal cancer is when you have the rectum there encircled in blue, and you have a tumor there, surgeons used to originally take the entire rectum out, including the back passage, and provide them with a passage for defecation, and they often wore this bag. At the time that I was a young resident, we didn't have the bags that we have now in commercial appliances. Often patients were left to their own devices, and you couldn't believe what they used to do. They were very deviceful. They used to have banana bags made out of banana leaves, and that often was not ideal. Some people used to use coconut shells in order to be able to manage the excrement that got out of their bags. And this, to me, was a trouble thing, because I, as the junior-most doctor in the team, had to spend 24 hours a day with these patients, and I understood their suffering. And for me, the greatest inquiry into my mind as a future researcher in the world was how could we make this better? How could we understand this better? And the key to understanding that was to understand how the control mechanism worked right at their back passages. Now, all of us in this audience obviously have good control of our back passages, because otherwise, if our sphincters don't work, we'd be embarrassing here. So in order to be able to understand all of that, I could not find that training here in this country, so I bade goodbye to my professor and I went off to England. And when you go to England, you're a newcomer on the block, and you got to compete. And I'm thankful to my school and my parents for having given that ability to compete with people who are homegrown in England. And after about 125 interviews, I was eventually selected to a top job in the University of Birmingham. And in that job, the professor said, he sat me down and said, I just want you to understand that the work here is hard. You're going to have to find this in 2 years, and we want you to find a method of identifying the sphincter complex using any form of imaging, x-rays or whatever. So that was his brief, and then he'd meet me once every 3 months, and I had all the time in the world to do what I wanted, but I had to come back with some answers. And so we developed this system. When I say we, that we developed a team, and we developed this system of finding ultrasound, which is very familiar to engineers of your sort, that we can put into like a pen, a crystal that rotates, and we put into a pen-like probe and inserted the probe into the back passage, which is very comfortable for the patient, and we were able to generate these images. Those images show us the morphology of the sphincter complex. And once we understood that the sphincters are built like that, then we also had to validate the ultrasound. So I spent many a day and many a night in mortuary rooms, all by myself with the mortuary room attendant, looking at sphincters of dead cadavers and trying to develop a standard, the thickness of the sphincter, how long it is, how broad it is, and what was the ultrasound character of the sphincter. And eventually, we came up with a publication, the Annals of Surgery. This Annals of Surgery is a very high-esteemed journal in the world. It's an American journal. And what we showed there was that the predictability of ultrasound to determine whether a sphincter is intact or whether it has been damaged was 98%. And that opened the floodgates to a series of eventualities that resulted in sphincters being repaired, sphincters being understood better, and lots of surgeons were now engaging themselves in how we could preserve the sphincters better. One of the commonest things that damage the sphincter in our everyday lives is in women who develop obstetric injuries. When they deliver their babies, often doctors have to use methods such as breech delivery, such as forceps, and even open up the vaginal passage to enable the fetus to be born. And the mother has put herself at risk of damaging the sphincter because the back passage is adjacent to the vaginal passage. And that damage can eventually result in lack of control in these mothers. And we were able to repair sphincters for the first time, prevent bags. That was my original intention. So we were able to do that with a great degree of success. But there are also people, as we progressed, we understood that the sphincter, the anal sphincter complex, when it's completely destroyed, then what do you do about it? There's no sphincter to repair. So we then moved on and found other methods. What our research in the sphincters did is exactly what I've said there. Currently, surgeons are able to restore bowel continuity for cancer, prevent a colostomy in 80% of patients with rectal cancer. When I was a young intern, that was totally the reverse. 80% of patients with rectal cancer actually had to have a bag, and that was a huge traumatic, socially ostracizing event that changed the life of a person, individual, changed the life of a family. And if they lived in a village, then there was a huge social taboo to this individual, in that because you could not preserve the order of the effluent within the bags that were available in those times. So what if the sphincter becomes destroyed, and the sphincter becomes totally destroyed in situations where you had the war that we had in Civil War, and we had road traffic accidents, which is a huge bane in this part of the world. Young, male, egoistic, speed-loving kids on motorbikes, and they get into big trouble riding their bikes at 100 miles per hour. And they often, if they die, then that's fine, but if they do not die, they get left with a large defect in their bodies. And we were left with deciding about what to do with people who have absolutely no sphincters. And that is exactly what happens in our young soldiers, or it happened in our young soldiers who had the Johnny mine. If you know what happens with a Johnny mine, it's called a batta. mine is buried under the flow of your walk path, and these patrols, when they step on the mine blasts, and the first thing that happens is the soldier gets his bottom end into blisterings because the blast results in shrapnel, and that shrapnel completely destroys the back passage. And these young soldiers, often between 18 to 22, because they were the people who were sent out there on patrol, were left with a life permanently with a bag and left to deal with themselves because the war consumed a lot of our people's time. These people were not soon forgotten. So we then developed the concept of how, if we find a new muscle to wrap around this back passage and create a new sphincter. It's called a neo-sphincter, and that is exactly what we did. So at the time I was working in Birmingham, and I used to come back from time to time because I had my own family members and good friends in the military, and I used to wonder how they were doing. So every time I came back, I used to see all of this, and then we got back. And then the opportunity came because the University of Minnesota Medical School and the Mayo Clinic was looking for a researcher with the exact experience that I had to be able to develop new sphincters. So very happily, I packed my bags from Birmingham. I had a son then. We took him also with my wife, and we went off to the United States to spend a couple of years. Didn't think I'll come back to Sri Lanka at that time because it was so encouraging, the research work, and we developed the concept of a new sphincter in the United States. And initially, the work was on animals. It was a huge thing working on animals in that time in the US because there was this huge opposition to experiments on animals. There were animal rights activists. So when we were actually entered the lab, animal lab, it was like entering the Special Forces headquarters of any military establishment. They were guarded. Nobody knew who was who. We all had our codes. Outside on the fences, there were Greenpeace activists and animal rights people booing us. And so we really had to be very nondescript and anonymous and slip into our labs. And we used to work there all day and all night and come out. In that process of experimentation, our team was able to develop a muscle that was originally built for the leg or the thigh. Because of its nature, it's like a rope. It's called the gracilis muscle. It's on the inside of your thigh. We were able to identify that this muscle probably was the most suitable. So we operated on these animals, took the muscle, and wrapped it around. And it worked in animals. Once it got produced before the ethics committee of the university, they then allowed us to move ahead with human experiments. And the first human experiments were performed also in the University of Minnesota, as well as in Birmingham, because we had this link. I was the common person, so I always kept in touch with my boss in Birmingham. And for the first time, we created new sphincters around the back passage in people who had lost their sphincters. And that was a huge thing. But once you take a muscle adapted for one function and transpose it into another function, you understand that there are more problems. The muscle that works around our sphincter muscle is a continuous active muscle at low frequency. The muscle that Usain Bolt uses to run in his leg is one that is a sprint muscle. And these are very short-acting muscles that produce bursts of activity and get tired very quickly. So we had to convert electrically what was a muscle that got tired very quickly to a high stamina muscle that was now wrapped around the back passage of the sphincter. That is the new sphincter. And we used a pacemaker that they use in cardiac pacemakers. We used a pacemaker to deliver that electricity. And after a period of tweaking, we realized that we were now achieving conversion from one muscle fiber type to another muscle fiber type. And hey presto, there was a degree of continence. Although I can't guarantee that there will be continence for the same efficiency that all of us have from nature, we can produce a significant difference to people's quality of lives. And so came the era of the gracilis neosphincter. That was the time that I realized that my services back home are probably more useful than being in the US, so I came back. Had no job for 6 months because I had been out of Sri Lanka for 15 years then, and applied to the University of Kalani, and I got the job there. And that's where we moved on with the gracilis neosphincter operation and experiments on the gracilis neosphincter on our own people. I'm grateful to the Sri Lanka military service, the armed services, for having given us their soldiers, also who needed help, to do this experimental work on. It was a win-win situation because we were then able to do what we wanted to do. So that's where the operation is. We take the muscle out of the thigh on the left-hand side of your screen and wrap it around on the right-hand side of the screen, and then we put in a Medtronic stimulator. But these stimulators that are implanted in the patient's body under the skin are phenomenally expensive. They come from America. One of those stimulators costs about, at the time, cost about 1.5 million, although it might not be such a thing now. So we were not able to do that for all our soldiers, and at the University of Kalani, what we did was developed a different type of stimulation through the skin. Now, this is exactly where medicine and engineering can put their heads together to develop a better product. And I'm grateful to the thinkers of this university that they would eventually, hopefully, at some stage in the horizon, have medical school here, because we can work wonders, show the world a few lessons about what we can do, because in this part of the world, experiments are still possible because people are reasonable. In that part of the world, in the West, you cannot do any human experiments these days. Everything is an animal, and animal experiments do not necessarily translate into human experiments. So we are really at a great level where we can take off, show the world what we can do, and actually develop good results for the rest of the world, because research is not possible anymore on humans in the West because of these rights activists who are good to an extent, but after a while you defeat the purpose of the whole human development organ. So can I have the next slide, please? And instead of that, we developed the next slide, please. We developed the, you can see the cross is against the one that is the implantable one. The arrow shows what we do with a transcutaneous, trans-skin nerve stimulator. And we were able to do that over a period of time with, again, a bit of tweaking. And we produced a great paper that got accepted in, again, top-end journal. Next slide, please. We talked about neosphincters in the management of fecal incontinence. This is published in the British Journal of Surgery. It's a review of all of our experimentation. This is from the University of Kalani, which was way out there in Ragama, which is a village outside Colombo. Nobody even knows where Ragama was at that time. Next slide. And then after a period of 10 years, we produced our results of the effects of the modified dynamic gracilis neosphincter for fecal incontinence. And we really became champions of Asia, because there were lots of people from India and other parts of the world who came to learn how to do this operation, learn the mechanics of the operation at the Kalani University. And I'm proud to say I was a part of that team. Can I have the next slide, please? So having said that, the reason I talk to you about that, because if I can even inspire or evoke an ounce of inspiration of you young researchers here, then that would be that I've done my job, sir, in you being inviting us here today. But there are lessons that I've learned in my 30-plus years of research and research activity. I've crystallized them into 5 or 6 lessons, and the take-home messages are, a lot of the time, our projects will fail initially as a researcher. Don't be discouraged by that. You persist, and then you will see that success comes. And initially, the number of successes is way, way below the number of failures. You persist and keep going. You got to believe in yourself. You believe in the team, because there will be people who say, this does not work, this won't work, there's no point going. But you keep persisting. That's what you need in your mind, stamina in your mind. And all of a sudden, the failures will go away, the number of successes will rise, and you become lucky. So the number one lesson is prepare to fail as a researcher. In our culture, it's very difficult, because when we fail once, we think that we're useless, and that is the way we are built. I think it's important to understand that we got to fail to understand that failure is our greatest teacher. It's not a weakness. And in that failure, when you have failure, which is not often, we have failures in surgery, it's not often. But when we have failures, what we tell our students is embrace it with opportunity, because that's where you're going to learn. You don't learn from your successes. You only learn from how many times you failed and why you failed. So we use failure as a window of opportunity, and we embrace it. And hopefully, don't expect to fail, because if you fail, there's a patient life on the line. But even that happens, we learn. Number 2, learn to persist and be tenacious. There is this story that if you hang around as a reserve in your cricket or rugby team for long enough, you might just get to play one match for your team, because either there's nobody else or somebody's injured and they call you in to play the team. So just hang on and you will get there. So do not quit if you have a string of failures. That's the one thing you got not to do. Lesson number 3, when you succeed, and eventually every researcher will succeed, learn to be humble in times of glory. The team takes the credit, not one person, not the single individual. So be modest in success. This is always a team effort. Like your Vice Chancellor said, there's lots of people underneath here who are doing the work that does not get recognized, that makes this award ceremony a huge success, and we are grateful to all of you. Just like that, we're grateful to the team. Number 4, in research, be absolutely honest. Honesty in research is a huge virtue that most people have, but some people lack. And when you publish results that are not true, you don't realize that eventually other people will find out that you're not telling them the truth. And you'll be a huge disgrace to yourself, your motherland, your institution. So I think if you fail and do not perform in your research, it doesn't mean that you got to cook up the numbers and produce something that's not right. So be absolutely honest. Honesty not only does that, but it builds character and good future leaders. Lesson number 5. I learned that over a period of time, there's a law of conservation of energy too in our own personal lives. I think it's important to focus your energy on the task to be completed. Do not let energy dissipate and spend your time thinking about other things. When you're on a research path, you gotta do everything that focuses all of this energy. The 3 pillars of failure are procrastination, postponement of tasks, and plagiarism. That's all unacceptable research. So plan your tasks ahead, monthly, weekly, and daily. You must achieve at least 80% of your set out goals for your day, and that will give you results at the end of the year. Remember, we all know this line, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. The final lesson is, remember that time is your greatest challenge. If you cheat time, you only succeed in cheating yourself. And keep abreast of time, because it's running away from you all the time. And we're losing. Every time we breathe, we lose a minute of our day in our lives, and so on and so forth. So be aware of time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for having asked me to grace this occasion, an afternoon that I will indeed remember. I think with the development of medical research in your facility, we could take biomedical research in this country to a new level. I'm looking forward to that day. Thank you all for having asked me to come.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring and wise words. Indeed, undying thirst for knowledge creation is key to develop as a nation as well as a country. Having said that, I would also like to share that knowledge creation through research is one of our core activities as academics. And it is now time to honor the disseminators of knowledge, the academics of our university who have spent tremendous effort to expand the existing boundaries of knowledge. Dear Vice Chancellor, sir, I cordially invite you to take over the proceedings to felicitate the outstanding research performance of the academic staff.
Thank you. I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved the awards for the Appreciation of Outstanding Research Performances 2017 to those who will be presented by the Chairman, Senate Research Committee.
In the meantime, I invite our Vice Chancellor, sir, to distribute the certificates of recognition.
Dr. S.K. Abegunawardana. Mr. M.T.E. Abenayaka. Dr. S. Ahangama. Dr. D.A.S. Amarasinghe. Dr. Y.W.R. Amarasinghe. Dr. L.N.W. Arachige. Dr. H.M.N.D. Bandara. Professor J.M.S.J. Bandara. Dr. D.P. Chandima. Dr. KVDS Chaturanga, Professor SWSB Dasanayaka, Professor AAPD Alvis, Professor ML De Silva, Dr. END De Silva, Dr. AC De Silva, Dr. KDP Dharmavansa, Dr. KUS Edusuriya, Dr. SM Egodage, Professor EASK Fernando, Dr. MFM Ferdos, Dr. JCPH Gamage, Dr. GU Ganegoda, Professor RARC Gopura, Dr. M.Y. Gunasekara, Dr. S. Gunatilaka, Dr. S.H.P. Gunawardana, Dr. G.M. W.L. Gunawardana, Professor R.U. Halwatura, Professor K.T.M.U. Hemapala, Dr. A.G.B.P. Jayasekara, Professor C. Jayasinghe, Professor M.T.R. Jayasinghe, Architect J.A.S.S. Jayasinghe, Dr. J.V.U.P. Jayatunga, Dr. N.D. Jayavira, Dr. P.G.T.S. Jayavikrama, Professor A.S. Karunananda, Dr. P.V.M. Karunaratna, Engineer P.M. Karunaratna, Mr. A.L. Kulasekara, Mrs. K.A.D.T. Kulavansa, Miss G.N. Kuruppu, Dr. S.W.H.M.D.T. Lalitharatna, Dr. C.S. Levangamage, Miss B.H. Mallavarachi, Dr. H.M.Y.C. Mallikarachi, Professor W.K. Mapayarachi, Dr. D.A. Meedeniya, Dr. D.M. Mudalige, Professor S.M.A. Nanayakara, Dr. M. Narayana, Dr. U.P. Navagamuwa, Engineer S.N. Niles, Dr. H.R. Pasindu, Dr. A.A. Pascual, Professor T.S.G. Piris, Professor H.Y.R. Pereira, Professor B.A.K.S. Pereira, Dr. NGR Pereira, Dr. GIUS Pereira, Dr. HMR Premasiri, Dr. RMKU Rajapaksha, Dr. T. Ramachandra, Ms. WMND Ranasinghe, Ms. TKGP Ranasinghe, Dr. RADS Ranatunga, Dr. GM Ranatunga, Dr. L. Ranatunga, Professor N.P. Ratnayaka, Dr. G.R. Ratnayaka, Dr. W.D.S. Rodrigo, Mr. A.M.P.B. Samarasekara, Dr. T.N. Samarasinghe, Dr. R. Samarasinghe, Dr. T.C. Sandanayaka, Dr. Y.G. Sandanayaka, Dr. G.A. Sewandi, Professor W. Shantha, Dr. G.D. Samarasinghe, Dr. A.U.A.A. Samaravira, Mr. B.H. Sudanta, Dr. K.A.S. Sumatipala, Dr. K.G.A.S. Vaidyasekara, Miss E.J. Varusavitarana, Professor G.L.D. Vikramasinghe, Engineer W.D.A.S. Vijayapala, Professor U.G.S. Vijayapala, Professor V.M. Wickramasinghe.
Thank you, sir. The best and the brightest of our country pursue their dreams at our university. Out of these brilliant minds, today we recognize the most exceptional achievements of the students of our university. Vice Chancellor, sir, I cordially invite you once again to take over the proceedings to award the students for their excellence.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following awards to those who will be presented by the Dean of the Faculty of Architecture.
Professor H.P.S. Caldera Memorial Award for the graduate who has obtained the highest marks for the dissertation over 70% at the final year BSc Quantity Surveying Honours Degree Examination. Donated by Building Economics Students Society, University of Moratuwa. Academic year 2015-2016. Awarded to H.B. Waduwawala. Professor Fernando Memorial Award for the graduate who has obtained the highest marks for the dissertation over 70% at the final year BSc Facilities Management Honours Degree Examination. Donated by Building Economics Students Society, University of Moratuwa. Academic year 2015-2016. Awarded to MMIS MAPA. Best Individually Supervised Research Project for the Best Final Year Research Project awarded for the BSc Town and Country Planning graduate who has presented Best Individually Supervised Research Project ISRP donated by Institute of Town Planners Sri Lanka. Academic year 2016-2017 awarded to LRTM Abesiri. Best Designer for the Bachelor Design graduate who has obtained the highest total marks, not less than 70%, at the third and final year design projects. Donated by Gandhara Crafts and Artifacts Private Limited, academic year 2015-2016 and 2016 and 2017, awarded to DMSS Jayakodi. Best Overall Performance Award for the Bachelor Design graduate who has obtained the OGPA exceeding 3.8 for the final examination and outstanding leadership qualities and interpersonal skills, active participation in extracurricular activities, and entrepreneurship skills. Donated by Westgate International Private Limited. Academic year 2013-2014, awarded to DMSS Jayakodi. Albert Tainur Memorial Gold Medal for the Bachelor of Design graduate who has obtained the highest marks of the final year comprehensive design project in fashion and lifestyle design stream, donated by the Textile Institute, Sri Lanka section. Academic year 2013-2014, awarded to TMLC Bamini Vatta. Best Student of Media and Communication Design for Bachelor of Design graduate who has obtained the highest marks of the final year comprehensive design project in Media and Communication Design stream, donated by Leo Burnett, Sri Lanka. Academic year 2013-2014, awarded to PLJY Alvis. Herbert Gonzal Award for the student who has obtained at least an A grade and the highest marks for the major design project at the level 3 of the honors degree of Bachelor of Architecture program, donated by Ravenna, Western Australia. Academic year 2017-2018, awarded to IKE Vijay Surya. Sumatipala Ranasinghe Award for the student who has obtained at least an A grade and the highest marks for the AE 2020 Principle of Light in Design at the level 2 of the honors degree of Bachelor of Architecture program, donated by Sumatipala Ranasinghe family. Academic year 2016-2017, awarded to HMKIB Pitawala. Jeffrey Bawa Design Award for the student who has obtained at least an A grade and the highest marks for the AD 5010 Comprehensive Design Project at the final year of the honors degree of Bachelor of Architecture program, donated by Jeffrey Bawa Trust. Academic year 2016-2017, awarded to MP KP Heva.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following awards to those who will be presented by the Dean, Faculty of Engineering.
Professor Harlan Cleveland Award for any engineering student who obtains the highest grade point average of 3.7 or above and complete at least 6 credits from management subjects in the first attempt at semester 5, semester 7, and semester 8 examinations. Academic year 2016-17 awarded to K.M. Sugatadasa. And MPS Mohti. Vimala Surendra Award for the BSc Engineering student who obtains the highest grade point average for semester 5, provided the student obtains an overall GPA of 3.7 or above at the BSc Engineering degree semester 5 examination. Donated by Dr. A.N.S. Kulasinghe. Academic year 2016-17 awarded to D.B. Yapa. Professor C. Patuwatha Memorial Award for the BSc Engineering student who obtains the highest grade point average for semester 7 and semester 8, provided the student obtains an overall GPA of 3.7 or above at the BSc Engineering degree semester 7 and 8 examinations. Donated by Ms. Dilrukshi and Mr. Chatura Patuwatha. Academic year 2016-17 awarded to W.N.D. Pereira. G.K.S.H. Nishankar. S. Tiruchitappalam. IBM Engineering Scholarship for the BSc Engineering student who obtains the highest grade point average for semester 3 and semester 4, provided the student obtains an overall GPA of 3.7 or above at the BSc Engineering degree semester 3 and 4 examinations. Donated by IBM World Trade Corporation Sri Lanka. Academic year 2016-17 awarded to E.P.K.D. Maduranga.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following awards to those who will be presented by the head, acting head, Department of Chemical and Process Engineering.
Tusita Seneviratna Memorial Award for the Chemical and Process Engineering graduate who is specializing in minor field of environmental engineering and obtained the highest grade point average, the best performance in semester 5, semester 7, semester 8 at the first attempt, provided that the student has achieved an overall grade point average of 3.7 or above. Donated by Mr. Leonard Seneviratna and family, academic year 2016 and 2017, awarded to GKSH Nisanka. Tusita Seneviratna Memorial Scholarship for the Chemical and Process Engineering student who has obtained the highest grade point average in the first attempt in semester 5 examinations, provided that the student obtain an overall grade point average of 3.7 or above. Best performance in semester 5, donated by Mr. Leonard Seneviratna and family, academic year 2017-2018, awarded to ULMSM Pereira. Unilever's award for the Chemical and Process Engineering graduate who has obtained the highest mark for CH4013 Comprehensive Design Project 1 and CH4033 Comprehensive Design Project 2, provided that the student obtains grade A. Academic year 2016 and 17, awarded to GKSH Nisanka.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following awards to those who will be presented by the Head Department of Civil Engineering.
Hydraulic Engineering Award for the civil engineering student who obtained the highest grade point average of 3.7 and above at the first attempt for the specific hydraulic engineering subjects, academic year 2016 and 2017, not awarded this year. Geotechnical Engineering Award for the civil engineering student who obtains the highest grade point average of 3.7 and above at the first attempt for the specified geotechnical engineering subjects. Academic year 2016-2017, awarded to H.S. Vijay Surya. Building and Structural Engineering Award for the civil engineering student who obtains the highest grade point average of 3.7 and above at the first attempt for the specified building and structural engineering subjects. Academic year 2016-2017, awarded to J.A.A. Sankalpa. Environmental Engineering Award for the civil engineering student who obtains the highest grade point average of 3.7 and above at the first attempt for the specified environmental engineering subjects, academic year 2016 and 2017, not awarded. Transportation Engineering Award for the civil engineering student who obtains the highest grade point average 3.7 and above at the first attempt for the specified transportation engineering subjects, academic year 2016-2017, not awarded. Construction Engineering and Management Award for the civil engineering student who obtains the highest grade point average of 3.7 and above at the first attempt for the specified construction engineering subjects. Academic year 2016-2017 awarded to PPU Pannagam. Special award for academic excellence in civil engineering for the civil engineering student who obtains the second highest overall grade point average of 3.7 and above at the BSc Engineering degree examination, academic year 2016-2017 awarded to OPC Randil. Special award for academic excellence in civil engineering for the civil engineering student who obtains the third highest overall grade point average of 3.7 and above at the BSc Engineering degree examinations. Academic year 2016-2017 awarded to DMSP Dasanayak. Comprehensive Design Project Award in Civil Engineering. The award to be made to the 10 best students based on a marking scheme for performance in the Comprehensive Design Project. Academic year 2016-2017 awarded to HMI Hera, SASK De Silva, TP Dadigamua, PPU Panamgama, OPC Randil, JAA Sankalpa, SA Vishwakula, NS Mudannayaka, DMJM Disanayaka, RMARNH Rajakaruna.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following awards to those who will be presented by the Head Department of Computer Science and Engineering.
Cintiq Award for the Best Computer Science and Engineering graduate who has obtained the highest marks at the CS 4202 Research and Development Project, donated by the Council for Information Technology. Academic year 2016-17, awarded to J.N. Jihan. W.A.Y.P. Senarath. T.M.D.K.B. Tenakon. M.S. Vikramaratna. Virtusa Award for the graduate who has obtained highest marks for the CS 3202 Software Engineering project, subject to a minimum of 85% at the BSc Engineering, donated by Virtusa Private Limited. Academic year 2017-18, awarded to D.S. Lenadora. And D.P. Puak Dandava.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following award to those who will be presented by the Head Department of Electrical Engineering.
Electrical Engineering Society Award for the individual graduates who have obtained a grade A or above for their contribution to the best evaluated final year in electrical engineering undergraduate project, donated by the Electrical Engineering Society, University of Moratuwa. Academic year 2016-17, awarded to S.K. Akmimana. T.H. Indicatia. P.K.P.G. Kumarasinghe. J.T.W.E. Lianage.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following awards to those who will be presented by the Head Department of Electronic and Telecommunication Engineering.
Professor O.P. Kulashetra Award for the electrical engineering or electronic and telecommunication engineering graduate who obtains the highest grade point average of 3.7 or above, computed by taking into consideration grades obtained for courses conducted by the electrical engineering and electronic and telecommunication engineering departments in the BSc Engineering degree course at semester 3 to semester 8. Donated by Dr. O.P. Kulashestra. Academic year 2016-2017 awarded to G.O. Ishendra. Sri Lanka Telecom Scholarship for the BSc final year students in Electronic and Telecommunication Engineering who have obtained the highest grade point average of 3.7 or above, considering all subjects offered at semester 3, semester 4, and semester 5. Academic year 2016-2017 awarded to S.C. Lianarachi. The highest grade point average of 3.7 or above, considering all subjects offered at semester 5. Academic year 2016-2017 awarded to K.P.U. Chandratilaka. Professor K.K.Y.W. Pereira Award for the Electronic and Telecommunication Engineering graduate who obtains the highest grade point average of 3.7 or above, considering all subjects offered at semester 7 and semester 8. Donated by Professor K.K.Y.W. Pereira. Academic year 2016-2017 awarded to H.M.K.S. Herath.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following award to those who will be presented by the Acting Head, Department of Material Science and Engineering.
Lanka Ceramics Limited Award for the Material Science and Engineering student who obtained the highest grade point average of 3.3 or above at the BSc Engineering Semester 5 examination. Academic year 2017-2018 awarded to V.W.S.G. Ratnayaka.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following awards to those who will be presented by the Head Department of Mechanical Engineering.
National Development Bank award for the best mechanical engineering graduate who obtains the highest cumulative grade point average in the examinations of the course modules ME 2023 Manufacturing Engineering 1, ME 2170 Manufacturing Engineering 2, and ME 4332 Computer Design and Manufacture with grade point average of 3.3 or above, academic year 2016-2017, awarded to BSK Abhegunawardana. MR Prelis Award for the mechanical engineering graduate who obtains highest grade point average in the examination of the course modules ME 4072 Industrial Engineering with grade point average of 3.3 or above, academic year 2016-2017, awarded to NBAT Sandakalu. Professor G.K. Watugala Memorial Award for the mechanical engineering student who has obtained the highest overall mark with grade A or above in the examination of the course module ME 3012 Control Systems and Instrumentation, donated by family of late Professor G.K. Watugala, academic year 2017-2018, awarded to AGCP Lakshan.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following awards to those who will be presented by the Head Department of Textile and Clothing Technology.
MAS Award for the Best Overall Student in the BSc Engineering in Department of Textile and Clothing Technology, donated by MAS Holdings, academic year 2016-17, awarded to JMC Hansadi. ANE Award for the Best Industrial Trainee, BSc Engineering in Textile and Clothing Technology, donated by ANE Lanka Private Limited, academic year 2016-17, awarded to MAE Ayomani. MAS Award for the Best Overall Student in the B Design, in Fashion Design and Product Development, Department of Textile and Clothing Technology, donated by MAS Holdings, academic year 2016 and 17, awarded to DMRN Digala. Awards presented at the Graduation Fashion Show 2018, Outstanding Designer Brand Award, donated by Textured Jersey Lanka PLC, academic year 2017-18, awarded to DMRN Digala. Innovative Textile and Fabric Designer, donated by Textured Jersey Lanka PLC, academic year 2017-18, awarded to KMDO Sanjani. Most commercially creative designer, donated by Textured Jersey Lanka PLC, academic year 2017-18, awarded to S.E. Nos. Creative knitwear designer, donated by Textured Jersey Lanka PLC, academic year 2017-18, awarded to BDN Chaturanga. Best Menswear Designs Award, donated by Textured Jersey Lanka PLC, academic year 2017-18, awarded to T.G. K.G. Kumara. Innovative Designer Award, donated by Textured Jersey Lanka PLC, academic year 2017-18, awarded to KMDO Sanjani. Serendip Inspirational Designer Award, donated by Textured Jersey Lanka PLC, academic year 2017-18, awarded to MLU Ediri Surya.
I have the honor to report that on the recommendation of the Senate, the Council has resolved to award the following awards to those who will be presented by the Head Department of Transport and Logistics Management.
SLPA Award for the Best Final Year Research Project in Transport and Logistics Management, donated by Sri Lanka Ports Authority, academic year 2016-2017, awarded to KSW Gunaratna. The Logivis Award for the Best Graduate in Supply Chain Management, donated by Logivis Limited, academic year 2016-2017, is awarded to KSW Gunaratna. and GADT Lakmali. The Aitken Spence Maritime Award for the Best Graduate in Maritime Transport, donated by Aitken Spence Maritime Limited, academic year 2016-2017, is awarded to KHSC Kumarasinghe. The Road Development Authority Award for the Best Graduate in Transport Systems, donated by Road Development Authority, academic year 2016-2017, is not awarded.
Thank you, sir. The University of Moratuwa is indeed the most sought-after technological university in Sri Lanka, and we are proud, privileged, as well as blessed to have a vast number of scholars as part of our staff and student bodies. Now, for the next in our agenda is an exclusive item to recognize such extraordinary individuals who have received national and international level accolades during the years of 2016 to 2018. To commence the felicitation ceremony, let me cordially invite Dean, the Faculty of Graduate Studies, Professor Mrs. Dilika Dias, to announce the special recognition of international level awards received by the academic staff of the Faculty of Business. And to deliver the certificates of recognition, let me solemnly invite our Chancellor, Vidyajyoti, Professor K.K. Y.W. Pereira, sir, to the dais.
Special recognition of international level awards received by academic staff of Faculty of Business for winning the Emerald Literati Award for Outstanding Paper for 2018, Professor Vatsala Vikramasinghe.
Now, I cordially invite the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Professor Nalim Vikramarachi, to announce the special recognition of both international and national level awards received by the academic staff of the Faculty of Engineering.
Special recognition of international level awards received by academic staff of Faculty of Engineering. Winning the Emerald Literati Award for Outstanding Paper 2018, Professor G.L.D. Vikramasinghe. Winning the World Academy of Sciences Young Scientist Award 2017, Professor R. U. Halvathura. Special recognition of national level awards received by academic staff of Faculty of Engineering. For winning the SLA's Environment Committee Award for Sustainable Construction Materials in Sri Lanka 2017, Professor R. U. Halvathura. Winning the President's Award for Scientific Publication 2018, Professor R. U. Halvathura. Winning the President's Award for Scientific Publication 2017, Professor G.L.D. Vikramasinghe. For being the supervisor of the Tertiary Student Project Technology category that won the Gold Award at National Best Quality ICT Awards 2017, Dr. Shehan Pereira.
Thank you, sir. The time has come to felicitate the brightest of all, the students who have won national and international awards. To felicitate the students, now I cordially invite the Dean of the Faculty of Architecture, Professor Lalit De Silva, to commence acknowledging the special recognition of international awards received by students of the Faculty of Architecture. And to felicitate the awards, I cordially invite the Chancellor to give away the awards.
Special recognition of international level awards received by students of Faculty of Architecture. For winning the Award of Excellence at World Landscape Architecture Awards, WLA Awards in Student Category 2018, awarded to H.P.N. Hettiarachchi.
Next, I may invite the Dean Faculty of Engineering, Professor Nalin Vikramarachchi, to announce the special recognition of international level received by the students of the University of Moratuwa, the Faculty of Engineering.
For winning the Microsoft Imagine Cup at Regional Finals 2017, Keith Sugadadasa. Buddhi Aisha, Dimutu Karyavasa.
To felicitate the awards won under the category of national level, let me cordially invite the Professor Lalit De Silva, the Dean Faculty of Architecture, to recognize the students of the Faculty of Architecture.
Special recognition of national levels award received by students of Faculty of Architecture. For winning the Gold Award at the Lanka Star Awards for Excellence in Packing Students Category 2017. Tharushi Mendis. For winning the Silver Award at the Lanka Star Award for Excellence in Packing Student Category 2017. Jitmi Vijay Singh. For winning Silver Award at the Lanka Star Awards for Excellence in Packaging. Student Category 2017. For winning the Gold Award under Architecture category at ASIA Young Designer Award 2017, KKDR Maduranga. For winning the Silver Award under Architecture category at ASIA Young Designer Award 2017, Gigi Shanakadi Silva.
Now, let me once again invite the Dean, Faculty of Engineering, Professor Nalin Wickramarachchi, to announce the special recognition of national level awards won by students of the Faculty of Engineering.
For winning the gold medal awarded by Institute of Applied Statistics, Sri Lanka, for the best undergraduate research project 2017, A. Yasara Disanayaka. For winning the Sri Lanka National Round Competition of Microsoft Imagine Cup 2017, Keith Sugadadas. And also Buddhi Ayesha and Dimuthu Karyosa. For winning the Gold Award in the Tertiary Student Project Technology category at National Best Quality ICT Awards 2017, Keith Sugadadas. And the other members of his team, Dimut Karyavasam, Buddhi Ayesha, and Mindula Jayawardhan.
Thank you, sir. Yes. And we have a very special item in our agenda now. And first and foremost, let me apologize for a moment, sir, because I just want to take this privilege and the opportunity to introduce our Chancellor to our audience. He is Professor KKYW Pereira and a Fellow of the National Academy of Sciences, Sri Lanka. Professor Pereira has been the President and the President of the Institution of Engineers, Sri Lanka, and the General President of the Sri Lanka Association for the Advancement of Science, and also the Chairman of the Institution of Electrical Engineers, Sri Lankan branch. He is presently an Emeritus Professor of the University of Moratuwa and the Chancellor of our beloved institution. In 1993, Professor Pereira was conferred the national honors Vidya Jyoti by His Excellency President of Sri Lanka for outstanding scientific and technological achievements, including original research. He was also conferred with the Doctor of Science, honoris causa degree by the University of Moratuwa. Professor Pereira was the founding professor and the head of the Department of Electronic and Telecommunication Engineering, and the founding dean of the Faculty of Engineering, University of Moratuwa in 1972. He was also the founding chairman of the National Engineering Research and Development Center. Professor Pereira, it is indeed a privilege and honor to have you on this stage, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome the Chancellor of the University of Moratuwa, Vidya Jyoti, Professor KKYW Pereira, to address the gathering.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Actually, it has left me dumbfounded because it was so vast and unexpected. I would first like to thank the Vice Chancellor and the staff for inviting me to address you today. You are, of course, an exceptional group of persons. And it includes the award winners at the University of Moratuwa. Now, dear award winners, your awards are based on your own efforts and merit, and your own achievements. While the awards will bring honor to you, you bring significant recognition to the university through your performance. In fact, when I see your achievements, I admire the dedication that you would have had and the number of hours spent with little or no financial gain for yourself. What are the reasons for the dedication? And what is the driving force? There could be several reasons. The early scientists and astronomers and persons like Madame Marie Curie, famous for radioactivity discoveries, and Benjamin Franklin, lightning, were driven by curiosity. They were so dedicated that an outsider may describe the efforts as crazy. Many researchers have to have an element of craziness about what they are doing, because they are not crazy, but they are doing something for the humankind. But the results of people like Benjamin Franklin and Madame Curie became very useful to humankind, though little later, and also they had sacrificed their lives for their research. There are other areas of innovation and research which are driven by almost immediate usefulness. Even here, in most cases, financial gains go mostly to the subsequent persons who commercialize the research. However, patenting may help the innovators and researchers if and when they choose to spend time for the mundane activity of patenting, because very few researchers would like to spend time filling up the forms required for patenting. But there is a saying, PP versus PPP, that is publish and perish. And the other one is patent, publish and prosper. Patent, publish and prosper, which is advocated today for many research workers, but although many of them shy away from patenting because they want to do the research and do something good, but not patent and try to keep it for themselves. Whatever method you choose, it is up to you. doing research and development and innovations are good for yourself and the country. When traveling from Narita Airport in Japan to the main city of Tokyo, we can see a large extent of paddy fields. Land near Tokyo is very expensive, much more than in Colombo. It is not economical to grow paddy in such an expensive area. So I asked a Japanese friend of mine why they are doing it. He said, oh, these planners like it green. I was not satisfied with the reply, and I asked another Japanese friend who was much older. He had lived through World War II. He smiled and said, it is to ensure self-reliance. Not self-sufficiency, but self-reliance, meaning at least a reasonable portion of rice requirements should be met, grown and met within the country. Because to face any unforeseen eventuality, such floods, droughts, wars, and blockades, such as floods, droughts, wars, and blockades, one must have food, be able to live, and fight the disaster. Growing of paddy was heavily encouraged, is even today heavily encouraged in Japan through various tangible and intangible methods. A country should, to meet eventualities, have a defense of self-reliance in food, energy, technology, and capability. With your brilliant capability, I'm talking to the researchers and those who award winners, with your brilliant capability demonstrated through research and confirmed by winning of awards, you are the persons who can be in the forefront of enhancing self-reliance, not only in agriculture, but in every field. This is an aspect we must aim at if we want to rise as a country. Your knowledge and experience should be used to meet the needs in the first instance and the wants in a secondary manner. Needs and wants, I think most of you know the difference, but I will just explain. Needs are primary needs, requirements. You need rice, you need something to eat, you need clothing, those are needs. But wants are, you need a television set, or you need ice cream, those are wants. So we have to give priority to the needs. So we have to do these things in an economically optimized way as far as possible, subject to developing self-reliance to meet any eventuality. It is not simply finding the minimum cost solution through an assumed continuous function as in differential calculus. When we design locally, we gain the know-how. When we build through local industry, we and the country accumulate know-how and capability. The capability is a great asset, though not usually quantified. It will become useful in the normal day-to-day work and become more valuable and handy under unforeseen eventualities, because the capability can be turned to address the need of the hour when a crisis comes up. So the capabilities can be turned and steered to meet the eventualities that may come in time. Some of you are already leaders, others will be sooner or later become leaders because you have the best talent. You will be running prosperous engineering, architectural, or business enterprises. Some of you will run banks. Many of our graduates have done that. Some of you will run banks, government, and regulatory machinery. A few may even become cabinet ministers and lead in the formation of policies. Wherever you are, if you use your superior talents to build local capability by undertaking or encouraging small, medium, and mega projects, you will be ensuring a future Sri Lanka which can withstand natural or man-made threats and eventualities. A Sri Lanka where people prosper and have good health. A Sri Lanka where there is no poverty. You are among the few who can make a big impact. You are among the few who can make a big impact. If you help others through your work, or otherwise, and make them happy, you yourself will gain happiness. Now, I wish you a long-lasting happiness, but before winding up, I again want to thank the Vice Chancellor, Professor Kapila Pera, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Mahanama, and Professor Kamal Dean, who has graciously come to us and given an excellent delivery of research which he himself has performed and which is giving benefit to mankind. Deans, registrar, professors, academic and non-academic staff, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, and I take the privilege of declaring this award ceremony closed from the podium. Thank you.
Every end promises a brand new dawn. This concludes the award ceremony for 2018. And my congratulations to all the award winners. And ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing till the procession of Chancellor leaves the premises. Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a wonderful audience, and I cordially invite you all for tea, which is served at the lobby upstairs. Have a splendid evening. Thank you.